So as you can see, it's a Honda CRV. And the reason it's in the air before we do anything is because our Geno is going to remove the prop shaft so it can go on the dyno for tuning. It's got a K24A in it, Geno.
Yeah, never seen one of these before.
No, I've not seen this conversion, but it's going to have some issues, like the size of this exhaust is 2-inch. So I can't see us making a staggering amount of power by any stretch of the imagination. But it is an interesting conversion, and I'm quite looking forward to it, Geno.
Yeah.
It's a big old girl, isn't it? Yeah. A big old girl. I feel quite high up on the dyno cell. This is quite a beast. Really fills the dyno cell. It was getting quite hot at the back there near the door.
Yeah, it's getting hot in here and all.
It certainly is.
Yeah, so start of the day, obviously had to remove the prop shaft, so we could obviously run it on the dyno. We'll be putting that back on in a minute. Bit of a surprise for us because he said he was going to remove it before he got here. He said he was going to fit his fuel pump before he got here, and we said we were going to fit injectors and the mat when he got here. So obviously, yeah, it was definitely a can adjust.
Very fortunate that we actually had time to do this.
Yeah, very fortunately we had time to do it. But anyway, nonetheless, we got that done. Put it on the thing. One of his biggest complaints was it was on and off the throttle. I saw that straight away as soon as I started obviously trying to do something with it on the dyno. His throttle position sensor obviously wasn't set, so it took the free play up, so there was free play. So obviously when you're creeping in on the throttle, it's like trying to cut the injectors because the revs are creeping up and it thinks it wants to try and pull the revs back down because it still thinks it's on idle basically. So anyway, messed around with that. The sensor got all that sort of sorted and in a position where it was working on throttle and it stopped the jerkiness and obviously cutting on and off. And then finally got on tuning. So we took about 3 hours on this car really before we even started on it.
Yes. We fitted some injectors, didn't we?
We did fit some injectors, yeah, fit some RDX injectors.
So
I think
K24,
overkill, in my opinion, for this setup. But if he wants to push on, then it'd be better. It's got a cheap Chinese inlet manifold on it. It's got Skunk2 throttle body, really tiny induction kit, like 2.5-inch induction kit, and a 2-inch exhaust, which goes down to 1.75 on the crush bends.
Well, we know that K20s, K24s, you make any power, it's because it flows well.
Yeah.
So without the flow there, it can't be efficient, can it?
This car should, well, from what we've seen and previous maps we've done, sort of 250 mark would be achievable with the A2 cam in it, with the 50-degree cam gear in it. So
this is an K24A.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is they change the cam wheel, don't they? Or the cam, or the inlet cam. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, it should make around the 250 mark. So
bags of potential.
We're 50%, we're 50 brake horsepower down in my opinion, but that is down to the mods that are on this car, which are terrible.
But on the plus side, there's plenty of potential there.
Yeah, admittedly, we've talked to the customer, haven't we, about changing the manifold, going to a 3-inch exhaust, changing the inlet manifold,
For the
and
mods
changing the
it's
induction
got,
kit.
you know, the graph's perfectly smooth. I bet it drives a billion times better. That might be all this car requires, being a CRV.
It's sort of like I've got this thing though where it's in the car, it's working,
So make it.
and there's another 50 brake horsepower on the table here, and I can't handle that.
I appreciate that.
I wouldn't be able to handle that. I'd be like, oh, well, I need to get the mods on to unlock that power.
That is your passion, man. That's
Yeah.
exactly what you want to see. That's the results that you want to see. This might be perfectly comfortable and lovely to drive. Well, I'm sure it will be lovely to drive, but exactly what it needed. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Like I say, the customer knows that there's bags more potential, I'm sure, and maybe we'll see it again. But for now, I think that graph is as smooth as it's getting, with the mods that it's got, so really well.
Yeah, cool. Should we have a look at that graph?
Let's have a look at the graph. Well, there we go. No initial power run, as we fitted some injectors and had some TPS issues to start with, but we finished on 200 brake horsepower, 176 at the wheels, and as Richard explained, part of that exhaust is 2-inch. So we know it can do better. Still very, very interesting project, and quite happy to be a part of it. But yeah, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video, guys. Like and subscribe and all that jazz. And if you've got something fruity like this, give us a shout. We can help you out.
Before, and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast.